Prophet Isa Alaihissalam. Birth of Prophet Isa. The age of Maryam's womb is getting closer to the day of birth. Maryam came out of her exile area to save herself and the baby she was carrying. Maryam increasingly felt the movement of the baby in her womb. The movement is getting stronger and stronger. Feeling sick, Maryam lay down. It was at that moment that a child was born from her womb. This baby is Isa bin Maryam. After giving birth, Maryam felt hungry and thirsty. He shakes the palm tree, Quran Surah Maryam verses 22 to 26. Then eat the fallen dates, and drink the water of the river that flows near the palm tree where it leans. She is grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for being given the ease when giving birth to her son. Isa's birthplace is called Bethlehem, which means birthplace. The city is located about 9.5 kilometers south of Jerusalem. When Prophet Isa was born, Israel was colonized by the Romans. A few days after his birth, Prophet Isa was brought back to his mother's village. Villagers came to see Maryam's son. They ridiculed Maryam for bringing a baby without a father. They accused him of adultery, even though he came from a good family. Maryam didn't respond to the accusation, but motioned to her baby. Suddenly, the baby replied that the accusations were not true. This answer managed to silence their mouths. That's how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shows his power. Prophet Isa was circumcised at the age of 8 days, according to the Sharia of the prophets since the Prophet Abraham. Isa Alaihissalam appointed to be a prophet. The people of Jerusalem know Prophet Isa as a young man who is smart, clever, brave, firm in defending the truth, and never submits in the face of falsehood. This attitude and stance was known by King Herodes, who ruled in Palestine. He considered the Prophet Isa as the main enemy who could threaten his position. Herodes decided to kill Prophet Isa. This evil plan reached Maryam's ears. Therefore, Maryam immediately saved her son by fleeing to Egypt. Maryam and Prophet Isa lived in Egypt for 12 years. After King Herodes died, Prophet Isa and his mother returned to Palestine. They settled in Nazareth. The term Christians, people from Nazareth, namely followers of Prophet Isa, comes from the name of this place. At the age of 30, Prophet Isa Alaihissalam often went out of the house to isolate himself from the crowd, clear his conscience, and seek soul enlightenment. When heading to the Mount of Olives, Prophet Isa fell sitting near a large rock. Suddenly someone came up to him and asked him to make the big stone bread. However, Prophet Isa did not grant it. The greatness of God is only in Allah, said Prophet Isa. Hearing this answer, the person was sure that the faith of Prophet Isa remained firm, then he disappeared. Prophet Isa realized that the one who approached him was the devil who was trying to lead him astray. Not long after, the archangel Gabriel came to him, then conveyed his prophetic and apostolic duties. Prophet Isa received revelations from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and revealed the holy book of the Bible to Prophet Isa, Quran Surah An-Nisa verse 171, justification of the previous scriptures, Torah, and prophecies about the coming down of the Al-Quran to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam called Ahmad, Quran Surah Ashaf verse 6. Prophet Isa's preaching. Prophet Isa Alaihissalam began to struggle to broadcast the teachings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, exposed the mistakes of Jewish religious leaders, and made them aware of their deviation from the teachings of Prophet Musa. Because of that, he called on the children of Israel to obey orders and stay away from the prohibitions of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Quran Surah Maryam verses 31 to 36. He preached so that they would repent, that is, return to the right path that had been pioneered by the previous prophets. However, the preaching of Prophet Isa was met with resistance with various slander and ridicule. They asked him to prove his prophethood and apostleship with the aim of eliminating his influence and authority. Prophet Isa showed them several miracles, but still some did not believe. The Prophet Isa received a tough task to carry out the prophetic mandate. Carrying out prophetic duties is not easy, and encounters many challenges. At that time, the children of Israel made many deviations. Sins have become a habit and take it for granted. To make matters worse, the priests were unreliable. Because they tend to allow disobedience. They do not hesitate to change the terms. Halal becomes haram and haram becomes halal. He also began his preaching by conveying religious teachings to the children of Israel. At that time the priests still adhered to the Torah. The priests ordered the children of Israel to oppose Prophet Isa. The news of Prophet Isa teaching religion was known to King Herod. He did not believe in the teachings of Prophet Isa and asked to perform a miracle. Herod immediately gathered his people to see the miracles of Prophet Isa. Then, Prophet Isa made a statue out of clay in the shape of a bird. Then he blew on the bird. With the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the clay bird suddenly came to life and flew away. Many people were amazed to see the incident. Not only that, one day the Prophet Isa was visited by two people who had diseases, namely blind and leprosy. Thanks to Allah's permission, the man who was blind from birth was able to see again. Likewise with people who suffer from leprosy. His illness disappeared, there was not the slightest trace of the disease that looked disgusting like on his body before. The rebellious children of Israel conspired with the priests to excommunicate Prophet Isa. He had several followers and the number was 12. They are known as Hawarian and they are very loyal to Prophet Isa. When the Prophet Isa made a journey and passed through an arid, dry and hot desert, problems arose. The party ran out of provisions, and everyone was very hungry and thirsty. The disciples started complaining and started saying things. Prophet Isa prayed to Allah to bring down a dish from the sky. Allah granted his request with the condition that if he disobeys he will be subject to a very severe punishment that has never been inflicted on anyone. Gradually the preaching of Prophet Isa received a very big response. More and more followers of Prophet Isa. But there are other parties who feel aggrieved, namely the children of Israel who are still infidels and the priests who do not accept the preaching of Prophet Isa. The plan is arranged in such a way. Selected soldiers gathered to kill the Prophet Isa. The murder plan was discovered by one of Prophet Isa's followers and was immediately reported to him. They immediately saved themselves and lived on the move. One of Prophet Isa's disciples named Judas, was enticed by the lure of a prize of 30 dinars with the condition that he had to tell the whereabouts of Prophet Isa and Hawarian. Judas betrayed, he leaked the hiding place of Prophet Isa. Hearing information from Judas, the Roman army immediately moved. The Roman army immediately arrested someone who was very similar to the Prophet Isa, namely Judas who had betrayed him. Previously, when he was about to be arrested by the Roman army, Allah raised Prophet Isa to the sky. Then God changed the face of Judas with the face of Prophet Isa. So in the end Judas received a barrage of blows and continued to be dragged away. Judas' body was covered with wounds and his face was bruised from the blows. Judas breathed his last on the cross. In the Quran it is stated that Prophet Isa will be sent back to earth by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala before the day of judgment. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will assign Prophet Isa to face the Dajjal who likes to make disasters on earth.